what's going on, everybody? So, I don't know if anybody's in here right now or not. Um, Today, I've been thinking about it. For today, the lesson is lesson 23. There is no homework assignment in the book, as I said in the remind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do two questions that are on here. I'm going to do one that's product, one is quotient. It's the same stuff that we've been doing, but I'll just do a little bit more practice just to make sure that you guys are feeling comfortable. And then the other four questions are going to be the homework. And because this is only one page, there is no day two for this lesson. So after I'm done with this, there is no lesson for the remainder of this week. And I actually will not see you guys again until I guess that would be Tuesday next week. Okay, so just make sure you're aware of that. But yeah, I wanted to do two questions. I'm going to do. I didn't realize I only put two product ones on here, but I think I wanted to focus more time on division anyways, because those are the more complicated ones. So I will do one product. So I'll do two. And then I'm also going to do number four because it has that radical in it. I guess I could do four or five. It's not going to matter. It's the same type of question. So I'm going to do two and four with you guys. And then the rest will be for homework. Okay? So, product rule. So when we did product, I told you guys that it is best to split it up into two separate pieces. The first piece being f of x and the second piece being g of x. So I'm going to break them both down. First one, f of x is just going to be 2t, and I guess I should be saying t, not x, just to be consistent with the problem. This should have said t right here. So we would have 2t to the negative 1 plus t to the fifth. Oh, sorry, Hannah. This is really going to be the same stuff as the last couple days, though. Now I'm going to do the derivative of this. So when I go to do the derivative, I'm bringing negative 1 out front. So this would be negative 2t. And make sure you're subtracting from that exponent. So it would be to the negative 2. Plus, I can bring the 5 out front and multiply. So I'll have 5t, and I'm subtracting 1. It'll be to the fourth power. So solve for f. Now I'm going to do for g. And we have g of t is equal to t to the third plus 1. And if we do the derivative of this, it looks like we're going to have 3t squared. So if there's any confusion with that, if you still are not feeling comfortable with doing derivatives, please make sure to contact me because that's what the last 3 or 4 homeworks were about. From here, because I know this is product, we were doing multiplication. The product rule states that we multiply the first derivative by the first factor. So I'm just multiplying it out. I got negative 2t to the negative 2 plus 5t to the fourth, and I'm multiplying it by t cubed plus 1. And now I have to do the second derivative, and I'm going to multiply it by the first number, or the first term, first factor. That's the vocabulary word I was looking for. So I'll have 3t squared times 2t to the negative 1 plus t to the fifth. Now, because this is a product rule, between those two, that product and addition are always what goes together, so I have to put a plus sign. From here, all I'm looking for you guys to do is simplify it down. So I'll simplify it down with you guys. If I distribute the negative 2t to the negative 2 and t cubed, I'm going to have negative 2t, and it would be to the positive 1 because it's a negative 2 and a positive 3. And then I'm going to have negative 2t to the negative 2 because I have to distribute it to the positive 1. Now I have 5t to the 4th times t to the 3rd, which would be 5t to the 7th, plus 5t to the 4th. So I double distributed that. Now I'm going to do the next part, and it looks like this one's going to be a little bit easier because I'm just distributing one thing. So I have 6t, 6t plus 3t to the 7th. And from here, it's just combining like terms. I'm not going to combine the like terms right now. I know you guys know how to combine like terms. Just make sure that you guys are doing it on the homework questions. Okay? So combine the t to the 7ths together, combine the t's together, and then just write it in the correct order. Okay? So if you do have trouble with that, just let me know. But I'm not going to spend a ton of time. It's beautiful outside. Let's get through these two questions, and you guys go enjoy yourself. And so number 4 is going to be the only other one that I'm going to go over. And this one is quotient because quotient rule is division. So just like we did before, I'm going to split it up into two pieces. Come on, iPad. There it goes. So top part. So I have f of x is equal to 1. If we were to do the derivative of that, oops, I'm already putting down the answer. The derivative of that is just going to be 0 because it doesn't have an x there. So it would have been x to the 0 power. So that one's a little bit easier. But where I wanted to do some more practice with is when you guys have the radicals. So I have g of x is equal to x plus radical x. What I suggest before you do the derivative, change the radical so it is an exponent. So you guys may remember me saying the phrase down and out. The number that's on the outside of the radical is 2, and the exponent is 1. So if I want to change that into a fractional exponent, we just take the number that was on the outside of the radical and put it underneath the exponent. So this is really just going to be x plus x to the 1/2. So that is still g of x. I haven't done the derivative yet. Now I'm going to do the derivative. So now I can do g prime x. The derivative of x is really just 1. Plus, if I bring the 1/2 and multiply it out front, I'm going to have 1/2 x. And 1/2 minus 1 would be negative 1/2. So I'm going to cross off this top part here because we didn't care about that. And I don't want you guys to get confused when we go to do the crisscross method. So now I have to take the first derivative and multiply it by the first factor. And then I'm going to take the second derivative and multiply it by the first factor. This problem's a little bit nicer because the first derivative was 0. So if I tried to multiply what I just highlighted in pink there, it's not even going to exist. It's going to be 0, so it's gone. So I'm just going to write 0. Now I got to multiply the other part. So if I multiply the other part, it's just 1 plus 1/2 x to the negative 1/2, timesing it by 1. Well, if I multiply it by 1, it's just going to stay exactly the same. And again, because this is a quotient, we have to make sure we put a subtraction sign in between. And then there was one more step for quotient rule. The last step was we had to take the denominator and square it. The only other thing that I got to make sure that you guys are aware of is when you are subtracting what we did in orange, technically we are subtracting the whole thing. So the last step that we would have to do to simplify this is just distribute the negative into the parentheses. So if I were to distribute that negative in, I'm just going to have negative 1 minus 1/2 x to the negative 1/2. And then the bottom is just going to stay exactly the same. So the derivative is just going to represent that bottom portion. Okay. So as far as pretty much the rest of this weekend goes, make up any homeworks that you guys are missing. I know I have not gotten in and upgraded your or updated your grades yet. Um, Mainly because it has been beautiful out and I've been distracted like most of you guys. So I will try to make sure that I can get on and do that. I'll probably get on early tomorrow morning and I'll make sure everybody in Math 12 has an updated grade. I hope you guys all know. I don't know if they made the phone call or if they sent a letter out, but most of you guys probably aren't really thinking about this. But the last day of school is June 16th. So the last day that I'm going to probably be collecting assignments is going to be, I think it was June 12th when I was looking at it. I'm pulling up my calendar right now. Yeah, June 12th will be pretty much the last day I will be collecting assignments. So if you are a little behind, make sure that you guys catch up and get there. And next week we'll finish up derivatives, and then we really only have 2 weeks of school left, and I'm just going to go back and do review stuff with you guys. I'm not going to be teaching any more new stuff, just review from here on out, and hopefully you guys are going to, I guess, enjoy what you guys have left of your senior year, which I know isn't saying much. Hopefully we can set something up with graduation, class night, and all that fun stuff for you guys, and we'll keep you guys posted. But I hope you guys all have an awesome weekend. Enjoy it. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully it's beautiful out. I miss all of you, and I hope to see some of you guys soon. I'll catch you guys later.